Well, all right! Welcome back to As It Should Be. Paul Bertolino here in the world-famous As It Should Be studios. Crystal Durant here in the world-famous As It Should Be studios.
Hi!
Tommy Von Voigt here in the world-famous As It Should Be studios. This time you are in the world-famous As It Should Be studios. Yeah, we've accepted him as one of us.
I've arrived!
Yes.
Yes, you have arrived.
Yes. And, we're here to talk about our favorite albums of 1973. Yeah. Woo-wee! 1973.
Ooh, wow,
Man,
wow,
It was a
wow,
mighty
wow.
good year.
I believe you start this one.
I think I do.
Oh.
I think.
Well, I'm ready to be starting something.
You gonna be starting something?
I am. Just double checking your notes.
I'm double check because I don't
Too high to
trust
get
you.
over?
Yep, that is true. It is you.
Too low to get under.
Yeah.
Stuck in the middle.
Yeah. And the pain is thunder.
All right, shall I?
I think
Surely.
Okay. I'm gonna give my list, and don't call me Shirley. So my honorable mentions from 1973. I'm always the first one to throw shade at the two of them for having honorable mentions lists that are several weeks long. But 1973, what do you want from me here?
You know,
Come on.
I've been saying this. I've said this numerous times. Eventually, Tommy's going to get on that bus because
Yes.
you have to at some point.
Yes.
You have to.
I mean, there's just... Anyway, so here goes. My honorable mentions. Greetings from Asbury Park, New Jersey, and The Wild, the Innocent, and the E Street Shuffle. Two-way tie is an honorable mention by Bruce Springsteen. New York Dolls, self-titled.
Let's just do this.
Yeah.
See how long we can have this streak going. Okay, New York Dolls, self-titled. The Who, Quadrophenia. Marvin Gaye, Let's Get It On. Elton John, Don't Shoot Me, I'm Only the Piano Player. The Raspberries, Side 3. Rolling Stones, Goat's Head Soup. Yes, Tales from Topographic Oceans. Emerson, Lake and Palmer, Brain Salad Surgery. ABBA with Ring Ring. Get It Together, the Jackson 5. Now and Then, the Carpenters. There Goes Ryman Simon, Paul Simon. Mind Games, John Lennon. Life in a Tin Can, the Bee Gees. Tanks, T-Rex. Piano Man, Billy Joel. Imagination, Gladys Knight and the Pips. I Got a Name, Jim Croce. Ooh. Desperado, the Eagles. Susie Quattro. On the Third Day, Electric Light Orchestra. Aerosmith, self-titled. And Raw Power, the Stooges.
Yeah. Oh, my arms are killing me.
There's a couple that I'm not that into, but man.
Yeah.
But again, at worst,
Two
I'm
or
just
three
not that
clunkers,
into
but
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
Same.
So, goddamn. Like, I could have put together an incredible top 10 just from that honorable mentions list.
Yep.
But, coming in at number 10, Mott the Hoople with Mott.
Ooh.
Mott.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. They have really arrived for me with that record. Number 9, David Bowie, Aladdin Sane.
I hate that song, but yeah.
Especially,
Oh, you hate the title track?
I do.
Oh man, I love the title track.
For me, in particular, side 2 of Aladdin Sane. Ooh,
Time.
dude.
Yeah.
La la la.
Prettiest Star.
Pretty star.
Oh, yeah, dude. Number 8, Intervision, Stevie Wonder.
Hell yes.
Number 7, Black Sabbath with Sabbath Bloody Sabbath. These guys were on a fucking roll.
Wow. Metal.
Number 6, Paul McCartney and Wings, Band on the Run. Delicious.
Yes.
Delicious.
Number 5,
Oh shit.
Queen.
Yes.
By Queen.
Yes.
Queen by Queen.
Queen by Queen.
Number 4, Alice Cooper, $1 Billion Babies. Number 3, Elton John, Goodbye Yellow Brick Road. Are you fucking kidding me?
Wow.
You know, we've talked a lot about double albums and how, there's a lot of tracks you could cut off. Most of them have fat. There's maybe 2 songs of that album that I would consider taking off.
I don't think I could trim that one down to one album. I really
No.
If I was forced to trim that down to one record, I'd end up with enough songs that are like, well, now this has to be the follow-up album then.
Well, one of the biggest reasons why it can't be trimmed down to one album is because Funeral for a Friend, Love Lies Bleeding has to be on there, and that's half of side 1.
Yeah, that's a non-starter. You cannot cut that.
No.
And then we got Gray Seal. We can cut Gray Seal.
Good, but the title track.
Oh my god, the title. Yeah, I know.
There's no way Tommy would cut Benny and the Jets.
I hate Benny and the Jets so much. Anyway, moving on. Now you fucking ruined it. Now you peed in my Fruity Pebbles, you asshole.
That's how I roll.
Anyway, number 2, Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Motherfucking Moon.
What the fuck?
Right? Right?
I have listened to that album once a week, every week since it came out. No joke. I love it.
It is phenomenal.
Seriously.
It is a flawless recording.
It really kind of is, yeah. It truly is. I mean, there's not a note on it
Nothing.
that I would change.
Yeah, there's not a single thing out of place. It's perfection. And the sonics.
Yeah.
Alan Parsons was the
Come on,
engineer on
yeah.
that. His work was exceptional. Yeah. So why isn't that at number one? Well, it's because in 1973, this little band from England put out an album called Houses of the Holy, and that
This little band.
is my number one of 1973, because of course it fucking is.
I love
Yeah.
that record.
It's not at all.
But yeah, my number one, 1973, without a goddamn shadow of a doubt, Houses of the Holy. Because
That's a whole lot of I cannot argue. There's a whole list of I can't
I
argue there.
mean,
Yeah.
there's a phone book full of information about why that cannot be argued with.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
So
good.
there you go.
All right.
All right, that's a winner, baby.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of winners, I got some winner commercials here. I just know I do. These are going to be amazing. Oh, get ready.
Where's my Post Raisin Bran?
I've got the Post Raisin Bran. 'Cause I just wanted to tell you, this cereal's got a lot of delicious raisins. And now you get fun stickers too. Just peel them off, and you can stick them on almost anything. There's 3 cents in all, and you get 1 cent free in every specially marked box of Post Raisin Bran. Hey, Jan, how about the Post Raisin Bran?
All right, we are back. And
Yes.
Bristol is about to tell us about 1973.
Yes. Here's my runners-up list. Excuse me. Funky Kingston by Toots and the Maytals. Light as a Feather by Chick Corea and Return to Forever. Black and Blues by Bobby Humphrey. Tower of Power, Tower of Power. Stan Getz and Bill Evans, Stan Getz and Bill Evans. Blackboard Jungle Dub, The Upsetters. Astro Black, Sun Ra.
Oh.
Come on. Babies on Fire by Brian Eno. Second Time Around by Simande. Is that how you pronounce it?
Oh, I don't know.
It was
not
sampled
sure.
by hip hop guys all the time. Rock On by David Essex. The Sting by Marvin Hamlish. The movie soundtrack. Marvin Hamlish. Don't sleep on Marvin Hamlish. People think he's corny, but that guy is a fucking genius.
What are some of his other... what are some of his other soundtracks?
He worked with, he worked with Barbra Streisand and wrote songs for other people. But that's the main one that you
okay, he's
that
not
you
just
know
like a
of.
soundtrack guy.
Oh, no.
Did you think of like somebody like Mancini or something?
Oh, yeah.
you know?
No, he's not only soundtrack dude, yeah. Soul Box by Grover Washington Jr. The Serpico soundtrack by Mikos Theodorakis, some crazy Greek who writes some good music. My number 15 in runners-up list is Houses of the Holy. Believe it or not. I love that record, but it's 1973 and I make no apologies. Tommy, if you keep your face like that, it's going to get stuck. Number 16, Aladdin Sane. David Bowie. I got Countdown to Ecstasy by Steely Dan. Goat's Head Soup by the Stones. Billion Dollar Babies by Alice Cooper. There Goes Rhymin' Simon by Paul Simon. Tres Hombres by ZZ Top. Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath by Black Sabbath. Brain Salad Surgery, Emerson, Lake and Palmer. Headhunters by Herbie Hancock. This is only my runners-up list. Headhunters, come on. For Your Pleasure by Roxy Music. Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, and Don't Shoot Me, I'm Only the Piano Player by Elton John. Tubular Bells by Mike Oldfield. Band on the Run by Paul McCartney and Wings, and Closing Time by Tom Waits. Those are my runners-up. So here is my list. Coming in at number 10, Raw Power by the Stooges.
Yeah.
Wow. The first time I heard that record, I almost fell out of my chair. It was...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and the first time you heard it, there was no Iggy remix.
Oh, the Iggy mix is so much better.
Oh, God, yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, back in the day, all there was like the really bad, you know.
Yeah.
Once you compare the Iggy mix to the original, like I can't even
It's
listen
night
to the
and
original
day,
anymore.
yeah, that's true. But it's just like a punch in the face, the original. My number 9 is a tie. And that is Catch a Fire and Burnin' by Bob Marley and the Wailers.
Ah.
Two classic reggae albums that they're both amazing. I couldn't just pick one. So that's why it's a tie. My number 8 is New York Dolls by the New York Dolls. Another record, right out of the gate, punches you right in the face. And Todd Rundgren did that, right?
Yes, he did.
Rundgren
Yeah.
produced this.
Incredible.
Yeah.
And what I love about the production is that he basically like set up everything and was just like, okay, just go ahead and do it.
Yeah, because he went to go see that they asked him to do it, and he
Yeah.
went and saw them.
And then
And,
he was
when
like-
he saw them on stage, he's like, "Oh no, I don't
Okay.
need to do anything with these guys.
Yeah.
They have this covered.
Just do it.
There's
Mic
also
him up, mic him up, and let him go."
There's a story about how apparently towards the end of the sessions, like Johnny Thunders like took the tapes and told Todd Rundgren, "You've messed with this enough," or some shit like that.
Didn't mess with
I
anything.
don't know
Which I
how
could ima-
true.
I don't know how true it
That
is.
might
Yeah.
not be that true. It might be one of those bullshit stories,
But the way Todd
maybe.
Rundgren works and the way those guys, what those guys' MO was, I could see that happening.
Yeah.
Or at least being in their minds, you know.
Yeah.
Right. Which brings me to my number 7, A Wizard, a True Star by Todd Rundgren.
Oh yeah.
I really, at first, that's another record that had to kind of grow on me.
That one still hasn't grown on me, admittedly.
And it didn't take that long, but I really, really dig it. It's really, really. I wish I'd seen that show.
That's one of my favorite ones. That album, and it sounds like the cover. The way the cover looks, that's how that
That's
album
what it sounds like. Thank you. That's perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
My number 6, it's a tie.
Oh,
And that is a tie between The Wild, The Innocent, and the E Street Shuffle, and Greeting from Asbury Park.
You
by
know
Bruce
what I'm
Springsteen.
talking about.
Come on, man. What the fuck?
right.
Bruce. Yeah. My number 5 is Betty Davis by Betty Davis. And not the actress. I'm talking about the black woman. I'm talking about the black woman singer, Betty Davis.
Yeah.
Betty, not Bette. Okay? Get it straight. She was a precursor to LaBelle and Tina Turner and
Right.
like black women singing rock and roll and Gut Bucket and just like wow, just
And-
hooping and hollering and not giving a fuck.
Wearing the weird space age Kiss outfits.
yeah, thigh high boots and all that shit.
Yeah.
Huge afro. She was incredible, absolutely incredible. And my number 4 is Fresh by Sly and the
Ooh,
Family
yeah.
Stone. One of their best. That might be my favorite.
They kind of they definitely have a big 3. Stand, There's a Right Going On, and Fresh. That's
yeah.
the big 3.
That's
for
a
Sly.
trifecta. Yeah, I will agree with that. It's really good. My number 3 is Let's Get It On by Marvin Gaye. Let's get it on. Yes. Yes, love, baby. I mean, come on. You can't not stand. Yeah. My number 2, and this is going to sound crazy, but my number 2 is Quadrophenia by The Who.
Whoa.
But there's good reason. That's because my number 1 is a tie.
Hi, Paul.
We have a tie.
It's a tie between Stevie Wonder, Inner Visions, and Dark Side of the Moon by Pink Floyd. Because I know it's kooky, but I can't live without either one of them, and they're both number 1 to me. So that's why they're a tie.
Well, yeah.
Okay. Well,
Those both are number 1 albums, that's for sure.
I do what I want.
They're number 1 worthy.
Yes.
That is a fact.
I can't not.
bah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eh. Okay.
Commercial.
Yeah, commercial.
Commercial.
He's right.
Until we created Slim Dutch Masters Marauders, Peter Revson wasn't really happy with the shape of his cigar. Until he discovered Slim Dutch Masters Cadets, Fred the Hammer Williamson had hardly ever smoked a cigar. Until he discovered Slim Dutch Masters Elites, Peter Duchin didn't like the way he looked with his cigar. The Dutch Masters Slimline Collection. Slim, trim cigars that look as good as they taste.
There's a new pioneer spirit in America today, the spirit of conservation. It's people realizing there's just not as much energy as we're used to having. And we can help keep factories working and paychecks coming in and America going strong if we just drive a little slower and heat our homes and businesses a little less. If everybody dials down 6 degrees at home and slows down on the highways, it'll conserve enough fuel to provide energy for more than 1 million American jobs. and that's vital to all of us. Amoco oil is doing all they can to get more energy to us, but until the shortage eases, it's up to all of us to make what there is go further. There's a shortage of energy, but not of the American spirit. Keep your spirit up, the spirit of conservation for the sake of America.
Well, all right. So I get the last word on 73.
You do?
Alright.
Yeah. Prepare. Actually, I need to prepare. I need to put on my glasses on.
I am ready for it.
Ready
Yes.
for it. Get ready.
Ready. Yes, I'm ready.
Yeah, I'm ready. All right. Okay, so number 10. Oh, wait, no, number 10. What am I talking about?
What?
Right. Psych, like I don't have some honorable mentions. Okay. Honorable mentions. Dionne Warwick, Just Being Myself.
Oh, yeah.
Bowie, Aladdin Sane. Partridge Family, Bulletin Board. Blue Oyster Cult with Tyranny and Mutation. Alice Cooper, Muscle of Love. John Lennon, Mind Games. Fleetwood Mac, Mystery to Me. Wings, Red Rose Speedway. Bee Gees, Life in a Tin Can. Springsteen, Greedies from Asbury Park, and of course the second album. John Cale with Paris 1919. The Beach Boys with Holland. Except the single. Fuck the single. And I don't mean Sail on Sailor. There was the single that came in it that was this track. Oh, I forgot, but it's nonsense. I'm not going to go into it right now. Donald Byrd, Blackbird. Yeah, oh man.
Oh, man.
Earth, Wind and Fire, Head to the Sky. Hall & Oates, Abandoned Luncheonette. Chicago 6. 3 Degrees, self-titled. Frampton's Camel.
Oh.
Frampton's Camel. Now, if you've only listened to the Comes Alive album and you haven't really dug into all those studio albums that came before that we've all seen a million copies of everywhere,
Yeah.
that one to me is the best one. That is a really, really great album. But the Kinks' Preservation Act 1, possibly their best 70s album for me personally.
Was there an Act 2?
Yes, there actually is an Act 2.
Oh,
yeah.
wow, okay. Just checking.
Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath, merely an honorable mention. New York Dolls, merely an honorable mention. Raw Power, merely an honorable mention. Bloodstone, Natural High, self-titled Tower of Power, and merely an honorable mention. $1 Billion Babies.
Wow.
That's weird.
Wow. What is going to be on this list? Holy shit.
Yeah.
I'm
So,
vexed.
all right, so number 10. All right, so number 10. Neil Young, Time Fades Away. His follow-up to Harvest, which is when he kind of started falling off into that sort of weird, sort of post-fame, well, like post-becoming famous kind of era where he just kind of like started being drunk and like, you know,
Noodling around.
not giving a shit, basically,
Yeah,
you
he
know,
didn't care.
for a while there. But yeah, I really actually love the album. This album is one of those albums where it's all new songs, but they were all recorded at shows. So it's a live album of new material.
Okay.
But it's really ramshackle, and he's hitting a lot of bum notes, you know, when he's playing, when he's singing, but it works. I'm not a guy who appreciates dissonance necessarily, but this album I really, really love. My number 9, Todd Rundgren, A Wizard of True Star. And like I said to Tommy, not to Tommy, like I said, I was talking to you, but I was talking to everybody, really. Yeah, that album sounds like the cover looks. And I could see where that's an album that you might not get into at first. I actually did like it right away, but I can't really explain that. I don't know. On paper, that shouldn't have been the case, but it really was. And yeah, like you alluded to, he did a show, or he did a tour where he was playing that album in its entirety, and I actually got to see it, and it was crazy. They did the whole album. The whole album runs together. Like, there's no break between the songs. It just runs together, and that's how they did it live. There was no break between tracks. And he did costume changes. So they managed to orchestrate this perfectly to where he got off stage, did a costume change in like 15 fucking seconds, and got back out on stage in time for the next song that came immediately in with no break. It was a really, really incredible production. I can't believe that they pulled that off. But number 8, Marvin Gaye with Let's Get It On. I mean, come on. Yeah.
Oh, so good.
Which, of course, leads fairly seamlessly into my number 7, Inner Visions by Stevie Wonder, which is criminally low on my list, but at least I got it on the list. And number 6, Led Zeppelin, Houses of the Holy. Like I said, I really, really love that album. And yeah, and I actually, that's one where I actually remember when it was new. I actually remember when Houses of the Holy was new, and my Uncle Dino had that record. And I just used to play Dancing Days over and over again. That was my favorite song.
Oh, yeah.
Because I was like 3-4 years old, and like that's the song that stood out, But yeah. Number 5, Steely Dan. Steely Dan with Countdown to Ecstasy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the second album. Now, I really like the first album a lot, but this second one is where I really get in with Steely Dan. I mean, yeah. No singles on this, though.
No.
I mean, like Showbiz Kids was a single, but that's not a...
No.
That's not like Do It Again or Ricky Don't Lose That. Like, it's not a hit.
Good.
Number 4, The Who with Quadrophenia.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I mean...
Pete Townsend. Fucking genius.
I know not everybody feels this way, but I think this blows Tommy out of the water, personally. Yeah, I love
I'd need time to think on that. I'm not sure.
I love Quadrophenia so much more than Tommy.
See, I have... Oh, all right. So when it comes to the original version of Tommy, I agree with you. This one is better.
Oh, but if you were to compare it to the soundtrack version.
Nothing touches the soundtrack for me.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, because reasons.
Yeah, reasons.
But, yeah, I didn't even know about that album for a little while, and my mom's friend Sherry actually turned me on to it. Like, she was like, "Oh, did you know they have another rock opera?" I'm like, "Oh, really?" And she told me all about it, and I was like, "Oh, well, I must investigate. I must get this." Yeah, well, there we go. Number 3, Band on the Run. Band on the Run, Paul McCartney and Wings. And, yeah, you see, we're getting into that era now where I'm really kind of becoming cognizant of new albums, current. Like, I was aware of this album when it was out. I'm like 3-4 years old, but like I'm aware of these albums because the older kids around me, aunts, uncles, and people had the records, so I could see them in front of me, and I could physically put them on the turntable and get familiar with them.
And your aunts and uncles, they were all young.
Yeah, teenagers and things, and yeah.
It's not like they were 50 and 60 years old.
Yeah, that's why these records were around me at all times. But number 2, Elton John, Goodbye Yellow Brick Road. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Now, that album actually is one that I didn't know right away. I got that one just a little, maybe a couple years later. There was this guy who lived down the block from me. He was an older guy. I was, however old I was, 5-6 years old, and he was probably 19. And he was like the standard, feathered hair dude, no shirt, jeans, comb in the back pocket kind of guy. Always had a car in the garage that was being worked on.
Tinkered on, yeah.
Yeah, and he would call me Sport. Hey, Sport! Hey, Sport! And one day, I was with a couple friends, and he invited us into the garage because he had a box full of records. And he's like, "Hey, so do you guys want any of these?" I think he was moving. Like, he was 19. He was probably, like, going away, whatever, and he just didn't want his records anymore. And I just went through, and he had Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, he had Honky Chateau, he had all these records, and I just was like, boom! Yeah.
I will take them all, thank you.
Yeah, yes, yes, please, I'll have all of these. But number 1...
I mean,
come on. Yeah, I know, Dark Side of the Moon, blah, 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 it's played out, blah, blah, blah.
No, it's not.
I play that game sometimes, too, but you know what? Not with this. Not with this. For some, well, now I will tell you this though. I will tell you this. There was actually a time where I had actually burnt out on Dark Side of the Moon. There were a number of years there. In fact, probably in high school, in the 80s, I burnt out on it. Didn't listen to it for years. It was in the bin with Led Zeppelin for a while there. But what got me back on Dark Side of the Moon was when that whole Wizard of Oz.
Oh yeah.
That whole thing happened, and I went, "Oh, I'm gonna give this a shot."
I
and
tried that.
It works.
Yeah.
It works.
But it wasn't actually the experience of the combination of the two that did it. It was just that I hadn't listened to it in years, and I listened to it again, and it was just like,
Oh, shit.
Oh, yeah. And I've been back ever since. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, it's good to have you back.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
So,
For those of you who don't know what we're talking about, you can start playing Dark Side of the Moon at the third Lion's Roar.
Yes.
At the Wizard of Oz.
Yes.
If you do use the CD, you have it like queued up and ready on 0000. As soon as it roars the third time, unpause it and
And then it goes, and it is in sync with the film, the whole thing.
it's hit or miss.
I love it.
It's hit or miss, but it kind of works.
when it hits though, it's like
It's what? It's crazy.
yeah. But the record is incredible.
But yeah, there you go. That's my 1973 list.
Excellent.
Not a lot of surprises there. No blank stares.
No blank stares.
Yeah. All right.
Interesting.
After these messages.
I see 3 kids eating alphabets, learning the letters while they eat. Smart kids. What's new, Jackson 5? Picking your alphabets and see.
A mini poster and alphabet. I got one too. I'm gonna put mine on the wall. Mine's so funny looking. Gonna collect all 3. One in each specially marked box to post alphabets.
Flying Mallorca this year. Easy, turn left at Sicily. You got me, I never heard it. Sybil, there's somebody at the door.
Yeah, I'll just take it right in the kitchen.
Oh, it's that Sybil.
Hey,
Good
here's
heavens,
old
it's
Bird.
30 and Felicia.
What's all the excitement?
Is he all right?
Why not? Did you have an accident too terrible to describe?
Gee, tell us about it, Ferdy.
Yeah, what's all the excitement?
Ferdy was in a terrible accident.
No, it's nothing serious. He just bought a new pair of slacks and he doesn't want to wrinkle them.
Is that right, Ferd?
Yes. What's all the excitement?
Oh, you silly no-no. You're wearing Fort Trail slacks of Fort Trail polyester from Hager. They're great. With this expandomatic waistband, they stretch right along with you and they don't wrinkle. Now, get out of that silly thing.
I feel foolish. Shouldn't.
Thanks to Fort Trail, you don't look foolish.
What's all the excitement?
Hager slacks made of 100% Celanese Fort Trail. Relax and enjoy it.
Oh, I can drive.
I have so much hate to give.
I've got so much hate to give. And
we're
do we
back.
have hate? I think we have some hate. It's time
I
to
got some
hate.
hate. I think I got some hate. Yeah.
It's time
I brought some
to
hate with me. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Okay.
I think Tommy's hating first,
Yes.
right?
Start the hates. So I have dishonorable mentions.
Okay.
Jimmy Buffett with a white sport coat and a pink crustacean.
Oh, man.
Fuck you.
That era has begun. Yes.
Oh yes, that
Wow.
started very quickly.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it did not take him long. I think that might actually even be the album that's got "Let's Get Drunk and Screw" and yeah. So it's yeah.
Ooh.
Ugh. Losing Streak by Ray Stevens, cause
Oh.
fuck you. And an album that ended up in my dishonorable mentions for being such an unbelievable disappointment compared to the big hit song off of it, Rick Derringer with All American Boy. Oh God, the rest of that album is just work to get through.
What was
It
the
is
single? Rock and Roll
Hoochie Coo.
Oh, yeah.
And the rest of it just sounds really amateurish in comparison. It really does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not all he's cracked up to be.
He really isn't.
I wish Charlie Roth was here to tell some stories about him.
Did he work with him?
Yeah.
Oh.
Has he been his keyboard player on tour?
Yeah.
Well, we should probably ask him those questions when we're not on camera.
Yeah.
But my actual worst of the year, In the Right Place by Dr. John. I have never gotten the Dr. John thing. I never will get the Dr. John thing. I just do not like it. No, sir. I do not like it.
I don't know this album, but yeah, I'm not.
I mean,
really
you know
on
the,
Dr. John.
you know, I was in the right place. It's that album.
Right.
It's the whole thing is him just. I don't know. He does that fucking New Orleans.
It's a vibe.
Bluesy.
It's a vibe.
Fucking
Gris.
It's a vibe.
croaking frog thing. I hate it. I do not like that vibe. I aggressively dislike that fucking vibe. So, no boy for Dr. John.
Okay.
Over to you, Crystal.
It's not for everybody. I only have one thing, and one thing only. And it is America, Why I Love Her by John Wayne.
Oh boy.
Oh, sorry, I'm trying to grab something down here.
Yeah. And it is Exactly what you're thinking.
Do you have more, or should we just leave it at that and just let our
What else do you
imaginations
need?
fill
What
in
else
the
do you
blanks?
need? That's
What else
it.
do you need?
Oof.
No corral needed.
No corral. The corral is implied.
Yeah, pretty much.
What about the OK Corral? We need that, right?
Oh.
Yeah, America, and it's not even America. Why I Love Her, John Wayne.
And this around the same time period where he gave that interview to Playboy magazine where he said some things that he really shouldn't have said.
73.
That he probably got away scot-free with.
Oh yes, he did get away.
Of course. Yeah. But
Yeah.
I'm guessing it's around that time, probably. Marion is his real name. Did you know that?
Yes.
His real name is Marion.
Yep.
Okay, on to my hate list. Let's see what I have here. I know I have a couple things.
Gotta hate something.
Yes, I have 4 things. I have
to
4
be hating
things.
something. Got to be hating something. You got to be hating something. Got to be hating something. Let's hear you, Liz Paul. Yeah, yeah. What do you hate? Yeah, yeah.
Okay, well, first of all, the reunion album of the Byrds, the album called Birds. The original 5 got together in 1973. Crosby, Gene Clark, all of them, and put out this super lame album.
Oh.
Really? It's bad.
Yeah, and it's really lame. It's probably more of a disappointment than bad, but it's very lame. And yeah, but it's at the bottom of my honorable mentions. Next up, Bachman Turner Overdrive 2.
I forgot how much you hate those guys.
Yeah, the Bachman Turner overweight era has come in.
Yeah.
And next up, John Wayne with America, Why I Love Her. It's an all spoken word album. There are no songs. It's just him just talking John Wayne talk about, why
America,
why we're so great and better than everybody else, and
Yeah, it's
all that
so
kind of
great.
crap. But worst of the year, my number 1 worst of the year, I have here.
Oh.
Ricky Seagull and the Seagulls.
You brought that back from the archives.
What am I looking at here?
Ricky Seagull and the
Wait a
Seagulls.
Drink it in,
second.
people. Drink it in.
Singing selections from the Partridge Family television show.
Well, now,
I gotta take a look at this thing.
okay. Well, now, most TV shows, when they go on long enough, when they have the cute kids in the show, well, those kids get a little older, and they're no longer cute little kids, and they have to get a new cute little kid to kind of,
take over.
Yeah, to take over. Well, the last season of the Partridge Family, this kid, Ricky Seagull, came on, and he's their neighbor. And he comes over, and every single episode during that last season, because it's always the last season, the show always ends after any TV show does this.
Oh, yeah.
He sings a song at the end of every episode, and it's terrible. It's kids trying to sing. It's bad. It's terrible. Well, this is a whole album of all the songs that he sang on every episode of that last season of the show.
That is.
And it's terrible.
How old was he?
Being a big Partridge Family fan, I have to own the record because it's a Partridge Family item. But as they say, I don't groove to it.
I'm looking at this cover. I'm looking at this kid's face, and I don't know why it's hitting me this way, but I feel like every kid that looked like this in 1973, by like 78, 79, 80, they were just an absolute terrible bully in high school.
Well, I don't know.
They just have that look about them.
I have some news for you.
What?
There was a kid who did look exactly like that kid in 1973.
And?
It was Paul.
It was you?
Yeah.
No!
You're gonna see it.
Oh,
You're gonna
yeah.
see it. I'm gonna show it. Yeah, that's right. It's vintage photo time, and here I am in 1973, kicking it Ricky Seagull style-y, right, with my tank top. Yes, this is another one of those Woolworths portraits that my grandma was responsible for. And here we have Crystal in 1973 in 3rd grade with her octagon frames that were all the rage at the time, and her favorite shirt. She loved this shirt. So there you go. Crystal and me, circa 1973. I first knew of his existence because my grandma Bertolini used to go, "You look like little Ricky Seagull."
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure you weren't a terrible, horrible bully.
Not yet. I waited until you got here and we had to discuss the age.
He's a late bloomer.
Yes.
He's a late bloomer, people.
Yes.
Yeah, so there you go.
God damn.
All right. All right, let's take ourselves a little break here. Right?
Break.
Break.
Right, okay, I'm getting all mixed up. I went last. Okay, got it.
Break.
Hello, I'm Robert Reed. You know, purchasing a home is a big step for most of us, and you'll be better prepared if you learn the facts on home buying before you buy. Get the facts on title protection, closing costs, and other helpful information. Write for this free booklet, Blueprint for Home Buying, Alta, ALTA, Box 566, Washington, D.C. Take care of your bunch. Know the facts.
Well, that is that for 1973.
That's it.
I'm sorry, I'm thinking about little Ricky Siegel, and my heart overfloweth.
Well, make sure to comment and tell us what your favorite Ricky Siegel record is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not song, record.
Oh, record, yeah.
Well,
when we at some point we're going to do a special episode where we rank all the Ricky Siegel albums here on SSU.
I'm very, very happy. In fact, I'm ecstatic to report that there's only one.
Yes. So we'll have to rank the songs then.
Well, they all rank at the bottom.
Exactly the same.
They're all dishonorable mentions.
But anyway, everybody, thank you for watching and thank you for subscribing. Thank you to those who are going to subscribe in the future. I can see you. And thank you to those who are ringing the bell and commenting and all that kind of shit.
Notifications, yes.
But I especially want to thank those of you who are going to come back next week when we discuss our favorite albums of 1974. Yeah.
Yikes.
Indeed.
All right. You couldn't want much more. Here we go. All right. We'll see you guys later.
Bye. Yep.
Okay. The button hath been pushed.
Everything's buttons have been pushed.
My butt has made contact with the seat.
Oh, yeah. Something like that.
Uh-huh.
All right.
Paul is bibbity bopping around. There he goes.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. Well, all right.